You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for Happy Hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour, whiskey, cigar, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox.
And we are in an undisclosed location. It is the Podcast Detroit Bunker.
We had to get out. We had to get out. We really did.
Oh, man. It's just, we do a lot of Zooms. We do a lot of friendly Zooms, hanging out. A lot of Zooms and a lot of Facebook chatting. And Dave is down here in his bunker, and we're like, we got to try that. And then our friends at Detroit City Distillery put out a very special release, and it was a bottle. It was called the what it was called. It's the Shutdown Single Bourbon. It's the Shutdown Single Bourbon. They came out with that during the lockdown, and it was a very limited release. First come, first serve.
Yep.
Just under 200 bottles, 125 or something like that. Limit 2 per customer. And Dave got it. I didn't. And I was like, damn it, I need some. Hey, Dave.
Hey, so Mike's in your basement.
Yeah.
And the bourbon's in your basement.
But then again, a year and a half ago,
right,
Jamie actually picked up a bottle from Detroit City Distillery.
Right. And it was the very first bottle that they did, the first barrel pick that they did, and they did it with a party store over on the Midwest side there called the Beverage Warehouse. It's on 13 and Evergreen, Greenfield, Evergreen.
Sounds right.
Yep. 13 and something. And it was the first barrel pick that anybody got to do with Detroit City Distillery. And I picked up a bottle from there, and I had yet to crack into it because I was hanging on to it. So Matt and I, Matt Cave Happy Hour, we like to dive into spirits and do just a taste. So we'll pull a whiskey out that we haven't done before and give it a taste and kind of dive into it and read a little bit of the story and hang out. It's just an excuse to get out and drink. And I'm like, well, hey, let's do a side-by-side comparison of these two single barrels, right? The Shutdown single barrel from our Corona here, and then the one from the Beverage Warehouse. So I thought it'd be a fun tasting, not just coming over and drinking Dave's whiskey. Really, it was just a ploy to drink some of Dave's whiskey.
Hey, it's a thing.
Well, we have some friends with us today. We've opened up the Man Cave because it is a podcast for everyone, and we were just fortunate enough to be guests on Drunken Confessions. Amy and Cass are with us, short and loud.
Yeah, we were fortunate. I don't know that they feel the same way, but we were fortunate to be others. Yeah.
No, we appreciate you guys. We really appreciate you guys partaking in our podcast.
Tell us a little bit about Drunken Confessions. What is it? We lived through it, but not everybody knows about it. What is it?
Drunken Confessions started with Cass coming up with this idea that we're best friends and let's do something fun. And I said, I'll give you 2 episodes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be comfortable behind a mic or a video camera. And at the end of the first episode, I was like, no, this podcast is now mine. I'm going to do all the outlines.
Love it.
She absolutely did. Amy absolutely took the reins and just kind of went to town with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically, we drink and we
confess.
We confess.
We ask questions that most people don't want to answer in public, but
including myself.
Risky questions.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I claimed when we started Drunken Confessions is I am able not to answer any questions if I'm not comfortable. Like I'm allowed to say, nope, not answering.
But we don't tell our guests that.
Well,
so our guests come on and we're going to ask questions and they're just going to be like, and then we like to watch them stutter over their words and come up with their answers, and it's kind of fun.
So there's been many a nights that they've turned me 50 Shades of Red.
I like it. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been on a couple of times.
Dave likes to call it Breaking Amy on certain subjects.
Yeah,
I still say my favorite episode was the live broadcast from the Kink Ball. That was hands down one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Kink Ball. How did I miss that?
So that was back
totally
in
broke me.
September, if I recall correctly, and it was the Level Red Kink Ball that they did down in Teenage Wasteland. Why can't I think of the name of the bar?
Lounge.
Yeah,
The Token Lounge.
Oh, the Token Lounge.
Smoke. Yeah, we were at the Smoking Lounge in Teenage Wasteland as a kink ball, and it was everything you would expect that would entail. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I went, actually, that was my second time. I went a couple years before that on my own, but it's a lot of fun there, and it was just fun seeing Amy's reaction and just gauging it from somebody from a completely different point of view of being there.
So it was fun being on your show today. It was fun being on your show the other time when we were down in the Detroit Shipping Company.
Yes.
You guys recorded the downtown studio, Podcast Detroit. Detroit Shipping Company, which should be working its way back to opening back up soon here. So that I'm looking forward to hanging out with you girls in person. You girls. I'm so
you gals, you broads.
You say you girls. Dave's part of it. He's always at every show, so
Yeah.
It's just one of the girls. It's
always
okay.
enjoyable, and then wandering over to the local pubs afterwards. It's you guys are a riot.
So here's a good time. I mean, here's a good
you.
topic that ties in with this show. So there's the legislation working its way through the Michigan House now about allowing drinking districts.
Yes,
yes, please.
Looking forward to that.
Like let us be majestic drunken buffalo roaming 6 feet apart from each other with our alcohol. Like let's make that happen.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, being able to take it, because let's be honest. Toledo does it.
Yeah,
it brings whole new meaning to the word open carry.
Yeah, how can Toledo have this right and we don't? So being able to hop down from Detroit Shipping Company, grabbing a to-go, walking over to Temple Bar, Jumbo's, and then drinking a couple there, and then wandering over to and then Hamtramck. There's 50 bars inside a 2 square. Like every third door is a bar.
I'd get lost.
Have you been to Wyandotte?
No, never. I didn't know.
Oh, so many bars. Oh, I know you haven't. So I've actually done that in Wyandotte, and it has not been illegal or been legal. But you can ask Amy about the times I've walked out of bars with drinks in my hands, and she will be almost to the next bar, and they're like, "Why do you have a beer?" I'm like, "Because nobody stopped me."
Unfortunately, that's a true story.
So I already do that.
So I went to years ago. We were in Florida visiting my folks. I'm a big Springsteen fan, and they were in North Fort Myers, and Springsteen was playing in Tampa. So we drove up to Tampa to see him, and we were like, "Oh, let's go to a bar first, right?" So we're in this bar, and the city's just like downtown Detroit. It's just hopping because of a concert, downtown, and so we had a beer. And we're like, oh, well, let's go to this other bar. And we had our beers, and we walked out, and we're walking down the street, and we're like looking at each other. Holy crap! We're walking down the street with a beer.
Is somebody going to stop us?
And it's like, and like in the whole downtown district there, people were just walking around, going from bar to bar with their beers. And I'm like, this is brilliant. That was.
Why are we not funding this? And that's the thing, dude. Even if it's make me buy a wristband.
Yeah,
for $5 or $10, dude, I'm in. And turn it into that goers toward you get it, like increased police presence or making the bouncers happy, whatever. I'm all in.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah. So it was a riot. So that would be great if that legislation comes together. We'll have to get as it gets closer to a vote.
Yeah.
Get some one of the sponsors on to talk about it with my sponsor, which is Detroit City Distillery. Favorite kind of sponsor.
Nice. Well,
I was wondering where you were going with that.
They're not. I wish they were a sponsor. But we're kind of sponsoring them because we're buying
we're buying
their big old bottles. But we got 2 bottles here. We might have Garrett, their brand rep. Because you bought 2 of these.
I did.
And yet there can be only one.
Yes.
Only one remains.
Well, but let's keep it. So it's been 3 weeks.
Okay.
Since I picked that one up.
That's responsible.
Yeah, and dude, I'm convinced the fact that it's it says 120 proof on the bottle.
Yeah.
That's a lie. There's no way that is accurate.
I got some information here for you.
We need Maury. We need Maury.
So what's the highest? What's the highest proof you guys ever drank?
Oh,
That's a good question. I'm thinking we might
160. This is 120. I think I've gone 160.
I did 180.
Everclear grain alcohol. That's like 90.
180. Some
151
stuff. Polish.
I was just actually going to ask, what is Everclear like when you get it homemade, brought from Kentucky? Like
that's typically like 180, 190 proof.
All right, that's the worst I've done.
How high does bourbon go? Does it have a range?
Bourbon,
bourbon
has to be.
We have a non-video participant that I wasn't aware of there.
Yeah. To be considered a bourbon, it has to be 80%. So that's the bare minimum for a bourbon.
Okay.
85.
80 dude, that would be 160 proof.
40 at least.
80 proof.
80 proof. Yeah.
Okay. You were mixing.
Yeah. 80 proof. So yeah, 80.
It's early yet, JB.
Yeah.
Mixing already.
I know. I'm just excited to get into these bottles.
That's what happens when you come on Drunken Confessions before your podcast.
You did. You guys got us. You guys got us wound up.
Well, we do a lot of cheersing. You notice how we always do let's drink to this and let's drink to that. Yeah.
I hit him with the Yeji.
We did.
Sorry,
that was it too. Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Stuck some Yeji in.
Asshole.
I just won't touch that shit.
I had all that hummus and pita bread earlier.
Exactly.
So.
And there's still like an entire loaf of bread upstairs for later. Yeah.
So it's so weird watching you guys but you're just who is that keeps stroking the bottle?
Jamie. Yeah. I'm having a love.
The one that spent a lot of time on your show talking about stroking everything else. Yeah.
I just kind of feel like I'm interrupting something at this point.
I did wash my hands. So I did.
You'll never find a bottle like mine.
I hope you have a lot of hand sanitizer down there, Dave.
Oh my gosh!
Do that one more time, Dave, because he hasn't stopped yet.
Right, he's still grooving.
So all right,
the way I drink you, baby.
Yeah, especially you want Jamie to wash his hands after all the questions he answered when he was on our podcast.
Exactly.
So.
I did.
All right. So which one do we want to crack first?
We're gonna do them both, and kind of do them side by side. Look at the color. The colors look pretty the same.
Which one is more as far as alcohol content? What's got more?
Bailey Girl.
Dave's the new one.
The new one does. Okay, so
they're very close.
I want to share something about this bottle.
58 and 60%.
How many barrels do you think they made of the shutdown bourbon? How many barrels?
If they pulled out that, I'm going to go 1.
Yeah.
They actually made 4 barrels of the 4-grain bourbon.
Okay.
They've been aging approximately for 2 years and 4 months.
Okay.
So they call it a beautiful blend of fine Michigan grain. Mash bill, though, 58% corn, which is actually a lot of more corn than you would think.
Okay.
23% rye and 10% malted barley, 9% wheat.
Okay.
So the alcohol content, that's where the rye is coming from and the wheat itself.
Right.
So it's from I haven't tried it yet, but they're telling us it's a bolder flavor as far as a bourbon goes.
It absolutely is.
So I'm expecting something really, really intense on the front.
Very much so.
And then it's just going to layer on the back. And then
it'll kick you in the back of the head a little bit after it goes down.
Okay.
Which I think we all look for. And like I said, it is sneakily strong.
Okay.
Like it's one of those things where, like, I mean, you know me, I drink and like for whatever reason, like I'm convinced this stuff causes me to like have amnesia, but only localized because I keep forgetting how strong it is, and then the next time I drink it, I'm like, I forgot how strong it was. Why am I on the floor again? What
happened? All right, so
only 4 barrels were made.
That's awesome.
That's incredible that you were able to get 2.
Yeah.
So I guess they had a limit of 2 for those as well.
Oh yes, yeah. You could only get 2. Yeah.
So this other one we have is a single barrel that was a barrel pick for the Beverage Warehouse. And so there was only 1 barrel, and all of it went to the Beverage Warehouse. And the mash bill is slightly different. Instead of 58, this is 68% corn.
Wow. Okay.
27% rye. So there's more rye. So instead of 23, this is 27% rye. And then there is only 5% left over there, and that is for barley, which comes from Washtenaw and Kent counties right here in Michigan.
Yes.
So all local. Cool.
It's all local. And
They do. Yeah, most all of their stuff is very, very local. So this doesn't have wheat, whereas the single barrel lockdown version has wheat in it. So that's the difference on those. This is 58%, where this is 60%.
Wow. Okay.
So therein lies the difference.
So I guess it doesn't matter where we start because they're actually very similar.
They're very close. The colors are very close. The colors are
they do look very close in color.
Yeah. They're very similar in coloration. So all right, let's crack these bad lads open here, Matt. Here's one for you to open up.
And that's Dave's. I'll let Dave crack that one open. That belongs to him.
All right, well then let's do.
All right.
Let's have it. So
while you guys are doing that, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, coming from a non-liquor drinker,
right?
I like sweet bourbons.
Okay.
Like SoCo. I know it sounds horrible, but how do you tell if it's a sweet bourbon or a not sweet bourbon?
You have bourbon, and then you have bourbon liqueur. A bourbon liqueur would actually be somewhat sweeter than a regular bourbon. So there's the bourbon liqueur I know of. It's called Jeremiah Weed, and it is straight up. Yeah, it's a straight up bourbon liqueur.
It is awful.
It's got a very, very sweet feel to it.
Look, you made me put my sunglasses on just.
See,
Good luck, Matt.
I'm not a liquor drinker.
Do you want to smell this one?
I prefer sweeter.
Yeah.
Bourbons.
And you know what? A lot of people will
it's got a nose to it.
There's different. They're very different.
When a lot of folks, when they first start drinking bourbon, they may gravitate to the sweeter bourbon first, just to get the palate for it, and then they'll dive into something that's a little more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, you're not far off. If you wanted to dab a little bit more, you know what? More power to you. When you're out and about, grab a drink of something you've never had before. That's what we do. We want to try something and kind of, if it's not good, it's not good. But you still want to engage your palate a little bit more and not let it get used to what it's always drinking.
All right, Dave, this is the Butcher Cut.
Okay.
So that's the Butcher Cut Beverage Warehouse bottle. And joining us on the Zoom right now is Garrett. Garrett, what's your last name, sir? I can't see that far away.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Excellent.
Looks like Garrett Pasiak.
Yep, absolutely, yeah.
Garrett, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I'm Jamie, and this is my co-host, Matt.
Hey, bud.
Dave.
And then Dave from Podcast Detroit. We got a few of our friends from another podcast called Drunken Confessions hanging out with us as well. And if you could see me, I'm madly pouring one of these amazing bottles of the Shutdown Single Barrel.
Absolutely, yeah. I got one right behind me in my home bar right here. So
you're a lucky guy.
And it's kind of a mean thing. All right, here's the Shutdown.
There you go.
Here's the Shutdown.
Okay.
All right, it's kind of a mean thing to do because people can't get it because you guys sold out like immediately.
We did, yeah. I mean, I almost pretty much in 5 days. It was amazing. It's an amazing whiskey. So the reaction to it, it's a great mix. You've got that corn. You've got that rye, you got that barley, and we even threw in some wheat in there. So you got a nice little wheaty hint to it. I'll show you guys a really fun way to drink it. All right. If you got, I see you go ahead and have it poured. Go ahead, and it's going to sound unconventional. Give everyone a glass. And then what you want to do is cup your hand a little bit. All right. And pour just a little bit on your hand. So you're cupping it almost like a small little teaspoon. Now go ahead and put the glass down. And this is fun because in this day and age, of course, we know what hand sanitizer is. Go ahead and rub that in like hand sanitizer. Don't clap. Don't do anything. Yep, you guys got it. Now, what you want to do, stop rubbing around and then go ahead and smell it. What you're going to get is that first ethanol blast. It's going to kind of like knock you out a little bit. All right. Now, wave your hands in the air. Wave at each other. Kind of do that jazz hand thing.
Like you just don't care.
Like you just don't care. Now go ahead and give it. Now this is what I call applauding your whiskey. So go ahead and give a clap. Clap it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now go ahead and smell that again. What that's doing is giving you an authenticity test. That's showing the ethanol did. You should get that nice smoked, new charred American oak barrel smell right off the bat on your hand.
I feel like that Garrett just made it known how drunk you guys are, that you guys just took direction.
I wanted to ask
somebody.
you. I wanted to like. Can you make them do like chicken flaps?
Yeah, I know. I feel like he just totally made you guys do the hokey pokey.
No, honestly though, did you smell the difference, guys, over there? Should smell the difference, but go ahead, give it another wave, give it another clap, and then go ahead and smell. Boom. You're going to get that corn, that rye, that barley, and that wheat mash bill smell right off there. Go ahead and sip it. It's going to come in 3 stages as well. All right? You're going to get that nice bite at the end. That's called the attack. Breathe it in. That's called the rise. That's where you get like the oak, the vanilla flavors to it. And then that nice little fall, as I call it, falls right on down right there in the sternum. So let me know what you guys think. That's a car alarm. I live in Detroit, off Grand Boulevard. So guys, did you follow the instructions? What'd you think?
See, which is so weird because when you guys were saying you couldn't hear us, I went and checked the Facebook stream, and the Facebook stream had our audio just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we couldn't hear you at all.
That's anyway. So the answer to your question, Garrett, is yes. This is friggin' phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you couldn't hear me then when I was saying. So this is I was lucky enough to score 2, and I worked my way through the first over the first couple weeks after it was released. And I kept telling these guys. I mean, that's honestly why this all happened. Is I kept telling these guys how great this stuff was, and so yeah, here we are tapping the second bottle.
Yeah, I was lamenting not getting a chance at it. In the after on this one, I'm getting the rye, getting a little bit of the spicy taste there, just a little at the end. It's hanging out, which is nice.
I'm getting a little bit of orange peel.
Are you
on the back end?
Okay.
I don't know, but I caught that one.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that orange peel on the back end for some reason or not. And I don't get that very often.
There's a little bit of citrus to it because it's 120 proof. What you're getting when you hit those high-end proof bourbons is you get that thunder at the start. You know, when people describe whiskey as, that chocolate, that vanilla, that oak. All right. Once it lets up and you start breathing a little bit more, that's what they refer to as watering the garden.
Yeah.
So a lot of your palate is going to start releasing that. Ethanol is going to come off your palate. That's where you start getting a little bit of those citrus and sweet notes to it. So your oranges.
It is hanging around so much.
Oh yeah.
It's been a hot second since I've had a sip, and it is just hanging around on the back of my palate incredibly well. It won't.
You guys are making me jealous of that, but I can't taste it.
I know, right? We're over here sitting there drinking our beer.
We will plan better next time. This all came together kind of last minute.
So Garrett, tell me, if someone, a lot of folks will drink bourbon any way they want to, whether it be neat or on the rocks or what have you. What happens if you throw a couple of ice drops or water drops into this? What would you have?
That's a really nice nostalgic way to drink just whiskey in general, especially bourbons. Mm-hmm. What you're doing when someone throws in a couple of ice drops, what they're doing prior to the ice drops, when you take like a small little whiff and you take a small little sip neat, all right, that's where you're going to get the boldness. Okay, so a lot of people describe those flavors again as that charred oak. When you add a little bit of like one ice cube or a little bit of like drops, adding ice to a nice bourbon is not faux pas, all right? Because what that's doing is releasing the flavors, releasing the nose, again, watering the garden. That's where you start getting a little bit more of those citrus, nice hints and flower-like flavors to it.
Okay.
So when you're drinking it neat, that's where you get that leather, oak, like...
I'm good with leather.
And when you add the water to it, it releases more of a citrus, vanilla, orange, like lemon, that kind of thing too.
Yeah, I just put a couple drops of water in this, and I took another sip, and it exploded on the tip of my tongue this time, and the way it didn't on those first 2 sips.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, it just went crazy on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, that was that's great.
Some type of a molecule that opens it up when you add water. Is it? There's like a molecule in certain.
It's the infamous dihydrogen monoxide.
Yes,
that's the
yeah. So that's but there's a molecule that just that's over in some bourbons that are over, I think, 90 proof. I can't remember.
Okay.
But there's some type of a molecule that actually opens it up that much more when you add water to it.
But Garrett, we also have over here a second bottle that I picked up at Beverage Warehouse. I've had this for a year and a half maybe. The Butcher's Cut Bourbon, the single barrel proof. It was the first barrel pick that you guys did with anybody, and the Beverage Warehouse got it, and I grabbed a bottle from them, and I hadn't cracked it till tonight. So we were diving into this one. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to compare the two and just kind of see. This is at 58%.
Yep. So that should be, I think, that's the one Beverage Warehouse picked out. That's at 116 proof, 58%, I believe.
Yeah. A little more corn in it.
Yep. So that's 68% corn, 27% rye, 5% barley. Aged a little bit over 2 years over there. So that's
2 years, 9 months.
Yeah. So that has no wheat in it. All right. Just like the Bespoken one's got the wheat in it.
Yeah.
So that one, super, super hardcore. You got a lot of that corn in there. Lots of leather, lots of smoke, lots of almost tobacco flavor when you first hit that.
Whoa. There's smoky tobacco in there.
Yeah.
And that other one?
I just quit smoking 2.5 years ago. What are you doing to me, Garrett?
Wow.
Jeez.
I'm allowing you.
Wait, were we supposed to do if the happy and clap your hands thing again?
No, we weren't clapping on it.
Garrett, can you make them do that again?
What's the clap trick? Did they get that?
Ooh.
The whole this.
That's
this.
Yeah,
absolutely. Go ahead, guys. Put some of that Beverage Warehouse whiskey in your hands.
Dave, you gotta
Do it
switch
again.
camera view.
All right.
It's almost alcohol abuse.
We're only seeing Jamie's hands.
So while we're doing this, Garrett, you guys
plenty of moisturizer on.
There we go.
It's okay.
Detroit City Distillery, you guys started doing hand sanitizer as well.
I've got some right there next to the bottles.
Yep. So how much of that you
here?
have
Let me flip the camera angle quick. Yep, we've got some. Yep, right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, right there. You guys got it.
Yeah. How much have you actually produced since the?
Gosh, I think today I was actually at the factory all day. We are almost at, I think, 26,000 gallons. We did for first responders. We did a lot of the hospitals. We did the nursing homes. The state police, Detroit Police Department, Southeast Michigan Police Departments, and we're just starting to, now that we got all of that out, going ahead and we're going to start releasing it to the public for retail. In 16-ounce bottles. So
thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got because when you bought the shutdown bourbon, you got a thing of hand sanitizer with it. And I've used it. I mean, I'm sure you can see I've got a little bit of a bar here going on, and so I've used it to clean down everything here.
Just a little bit.
All right, so Garrett, we're teasing people with these because you can't get them. I mean, the Beverage Warehouse is out of this version. You guys sold out of this straight away. So how very different is this butcher's cut from the regular butcher's cut that you guys have on the regular basis?
Different in effect on a regular basis. If you look at that, that's a barrel strength. So
right, yeah. Yes, it is.
Proof. All right, and when you have a single barrel release, every single barrel is going to have a different taste to it, how it's aged. Our regular butcher's cut bourbon is bottled at 100 proof. All right, it is aged almost exactly 18 months to 2 years. All right, wow. So when it sits in a barrel, it almost like I like to compare distillation like making tea. So when you have a tea bag in a still, the longer you do it, the more flavor it's going to get. All right.
Okay.
So when it sits there and there's less proofing down, for those just getting excited about alcohol, proofing means adding water to it. All right. So when alcohol evaporates into a still, comes out as moonshine, 200 proof, 100% alcohol. You age it, you proof it down, you add the water. So a regular butcher's cut bourbon is going to be 100 proof, and it's going to have that sustainability of the same taste. That's why it won two gold medals in the American Distillation Institute in Bourbon County, Kentucky in 2018.
Wow.
It's
Congratulations on
that. Every bottle is going to taste just like that award-winning bourbon. When you have those single barrels, every single barrel, no pun intended, is going to taste different because of the aging and the oak.
So yeah, this Beverage Warehouse is nice. I mean, it is decidedly different.
It is. Yeah. No. This, like I said, this one's a lot. This one's got a lot more of that. I would say darker,
right?
Context to it. And it's definitely a lot. So like this one made me reach for a cigarette. Like I
smoking.
I couldn't help that.
It's smoky. I'm smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying both. The oils in the select one in the Shutdown Select there. It's really, the legs on this thing is just amazing. How much oil, how it's sticking to the side of the glass. A little bit more than the butcher's cut. That's
well,
really
like I
neat.
said. I mean, I've probably got 30 odd scotches, rye, and bourbons over here, and that Shutdown, hands down, one of the best I've ever had, and I've got some respectable ones over here.
Yeah.
So Garrett, what's
a vanilla
next?
smoky nose to it.
I'm sorry.
Almost like a vanilla smoky nose to it.
Very much so. That's the first. Yeah.
So what's next? Because you did this one special one during the shutdown. Is there?
Yeah. What's the next one I got to break out my wallet for?
So are you guys doing a taste testing of all of Dave's bourbon?
No, just these two. We're not
Okay.
trying to die tonight.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
Call
wondering. I'm
911
like,
'cause,
how
holy
much?
crap.
How bad is this going to go?
Yeah. But Garrett, you guys did the Punchki vodka, which sold out quickly. And but do you have anything on the horizon?
I believe actually, and she's in the room. I believe Tammy's heart got broken. It literally sold out to the person in front of her.
Oh, poor Tammy.
Yeah, I mean, like the Punchki vodka is amazing.
No. The Punchki vodka was absolutely delicious and a wonderful companion for quarantine. What got sold out by the person right in front of me was that honey bourbon.
Oh, the honey bourbon.
Yeah.
What you guys did with Bees in the D, but at least I got a taste of it, but I don't know if I should have had a taste of it to know how good it was and exactly what I missed out on.
It was absolutely terrible, Tammy. You
missed nothing. That one taste out of that one bottle you had was all that was good.
Oh, the good one. Okay.
So he is their brand man.
are
And he is.
Let's be clear. For those listening on the podcast, that was nobody from Man Cave Happy Hour that said that.
But how kind and generous is he to make a customer happy? To degrade his own, that's Garrett. You are a man among men, sir. That was very cool.
I'm gonna say if my bosses are listening, I hope I don't
No, but yeah,
that was definitely a very wonderful event, and having the Bees and the D people there, they gave information because I didn't know that you guys have your own hives.
Yeah, we have the hives on the top. They actually last week just delivered some more. So I always tell people with these.
I did not know that. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so you got hives on top of the Rensen. You got them on top of our facility over there in Eastern Market, the Stroh's Ice Cream Factory.
Yeah.
But I always tell people when it comes to a limited edition release, always follow on like social media, Instagram. Go to the website, sign up for the newsletter, and be the first to know. And I always tell people, the people that for their limited edition release, I always say, go to Eastern Market, go to Zeth's Coney Island, grab a slice of pizza at Supino's, and wait in line, like a roller coaster at Cedar Point, and you'll get that front seat.
Well, and for what it's worth, I mean, I got to give you guys credit. So, I mean, it was like literally you sold out from the time I saw the post, went and bought it and then shared it because I'm not stupid. And then people started seeing that post and went, it sold out. And the delivery or the pickup process that you guys had was flawless. Because I mean, like I said, it was a few weeks ago, so obviously we're right in the middle of all this nonsense going on. And it was, hey, come on down, pull your car right back down into the parking lot. You didn't even have to get out of your car. It was, just start, open the window. What's your name? What's your order number? Boop, doop. There's your bags. Off you go.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
So, what does it look like over the next couple of months? What does your reopening procedures kind of look like?
Yeah, because we love the tasting room, man. We just love the taste. The place itself is one of the coolest places in Eastern Market in the city.
Yeah, thank you.
From what I've heard and talking with, my boss, Michael Forsythe, our head distiller, John Paul Jerome, our sales manager, Jamie Wright, almost it's kind of unknown, but what we foresee, and we were actually talking about it today, is starting to do, I mean, we're an Eastern market. Let's just start opening up in the street when it starts off. You never know what the regulations are going to be. Let's get some like pop-up chefs. Let's get some, social distancing like out front in the street.
Well, yeah, God, it's not like Riopelle is real busy. Let's just close that off and put some tents over it and see what happens.
Get a food truck roll by. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you got that alley space behind too.
We were talking about this right before you hopped in. There's that legislation working its way through the House currently about drinking districts downtown. Well, actually, all through Michigan, but obviously everybody's thinking about Detroit, Hamtramck, those kind of places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fingers crossed on that.
I think our vision is to start out just to be safe, just because you don't know like regulations, people's reactions, like just from around the Southeast Michigan areas is just let's see what happens when we throw a block party. Keep the social distance, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, as long as you're not in the Ozarks, apparently, people might have a brain. That's the.
Now, one of the things about the tasting room.
So that's pretty much where I believe, even like talking today, what our like vision is just to go ahead and like start on Riopelle, maybe even something in the parking lot of the factory.
Yep.
Like air some like Detroit soccer games, football, if you will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Walls, that kind of thing.
Well, no, because I mean, like we did one of our last networking events that we could do for IT and the D was down in the tasting room just before the shutdown hit, and it was that's the one that everybody. We always bounce around to different venues, and like that's one of the first times in years we've had people go, okay, you need to do more events there.
Right.
Cool
okay,
spot.
Yeah. Hey, but the drinks, the mixes that your bartenders come up with there, some of them are just incredible. I can't stop talking about the. It was a cautiously caffeinated or something to that effect. It was so incredibly good.
Yeah,
the bartender, they come up with these concoctions, and the mixologists that are there. I can't wait for them to get back to their craft. I really can't, because I just can't wait to get back to see you guys.
Yeah, we have an amazing, he runs the bar program. His name's Ian right now. He's got an amazing lineup coming up for summer. Also, too, limited edition releases, if you guys were talking about, keep an eye out for our summer rum. Absolutely.
Rum, okay.
Ooh.
It's not as hot as Punchi vodka, because Punchi vodka we make just for the one day. But summer rum, once the summer's done, that's the summer rum's gone. So
is that something that you started doing recently? Is the rum, or is that something you've always had?
We do it this is going to be our second release doing it.
Okay.
What we do is it's an ode to rum, because it's tough to make rum in the state of Michigan. So what we do is we kind of snag around a couple bartenders and mixologists from different bars around the city, and pick out different like sugarcane mixes. All right. What is your favorite rum to make a cocktail with? Primarily rum, the daiquiri, the Hemingway daiquiri, etc. So what ends up happening is we make our rum based on what mixologists say, this is the best rum, what I would like to work with over the summer to make the perfect rum cocktail.
Interesting.
No, why is it hard to make rum here?
It's resources. As far as Michigan, Midwest, you have your barley, corn, wheat. That's easy to get. Your quality sugar cane is going to be coming from Barbados, Jamaica, etc. So that's why rum normally has like that Caribbean presence to it, just because all the ingredients are right there, and the quality of a good rum is going to come from its source. Just like a quality Scotch comes from Scotland, a quality tequila or mezcal comes from Mexico, quality rum comes from the Caribbean. So it's tough here, but what we do is kind of go down there, source a little bit, bring it back, make a nice, really good blend. They all taste it and pick that rum out for the best cocktail that they would seem suitable during summertime. So
hey, I'll make room on the shelf for it.
So if somebody says, I want rum for a daiquiri, what do you do differently to make it for a daiquiri as opposed to like just I sell rum and cokes all day long?
So like a rum and Coke. You add Coke to anything, it's got syrup to it. There's nothing wrong with a rum and Coke, like a classic Cuba Libre, which is Bacardi, Coke, and lime. What you want in a nice daiquiri rum is a little bit of aged rum to it. So you want a little bit of barrel strength to it, not 100% clear rum. All right. So when you're adding Coke to a rum and Coke, the Coke adds that nice caramel, that nice syrup flavor to it. But when you're making a classic cocktail, like a daiquiri, like a Hemingway daiquiri, you want a little bit of the rum to take over with that classic, almost oak aged, a little bit more darker color to it. So the flavors can infuse and you're getting more of that rum taste as opposed to the mixer.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottle for the summer rum, the artwork on the bottle. That's by W.C. Bevan and North, something to that effect. Does that make sense to you?
I believe so. I'd have to ask my bosses about that, but yeah.
Wow, Jamie.
Good luck with that, Skippy. I'm sorry for those keeping score at home. Jamie just poured himself quite a snort of the shutdown.
Wow.
Here, let me make sure I get a good shot of this, because this is going to be where Jamie passes out for the night. That's
Nice.
That's not that much. Is that much?
Yeah.
See,
I guess we'll find out if it's that much.
I didn't mean to.
Oh,
I've never heard Dave laugh quite
that wasn't
like
a complaint or criticism on my part. That was a may the force be with you.
Can we
So,
officially
Garrett.
say Dave has the gigglies?
Yeah.
Right, well-
It says it's 60%. Is it because Dave is convinced it's high, it's hotter than that? Is it, or is it 60?
It's definitely 60. When you see again our distillers, Steve and John Paul and Rex and Dallas, when they're putting it in, what you're putting into the barrel is a hydrometer. It's chemistry. So you are literally adding that water, and you can see it going right into that 120 proof, 60% alcoholic like measurement to it. So they did make 4 batches, but every batch is proofed with that hydrometer right there to that like 120 proof, 60% alcohol.
All I'm saying is skeptical Dave is skeptical.
Because it's waking up on the floor stuff for sure.
It's got a healthy little kick to it. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Throw a nice little match to it. Light it on fire.
That'll bring it down a little bit. Oh my God, so, Garrett! We're gonna be down in Eastern Market as soon as we can, as soon as you guys are open, and we're enjoying the hell out of everything tonight. So,
like I said, dude, we love doing our IT and the D networking events there. That was like hands down like the best received event that we've done in quite some time. And everybody loved it. And I love, the support you guys show with all the pop-ups and the food and all the, the local stuff you guys do. It's just, it's outstanding. I mean, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't really pay attention to that they should be is who's keeping and supporting local going, especially during these times.
Yep. 8 friends from Bath, Michigan got together and created a legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and we've had Mike on the show. So if people want to know the whole story, Mike shares the whole story in one of the earlier episodes of the Man Cave, and we've done 2. We did one from the tasting room with one of the bar managers at the time.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then we did another one with Mike in studio. So if people want to check those out, they can check out a couple of the old issues. But there's the story is phenomenal, and we're not just blowing sunshine up your butt because we were doing this on our own because we're fans.
We bought the bottles on our own. It's not like it's not like this is a product placement shtick. It's not.
And I texted. I was like, shit, I got Mike's number. I texted him earlier. I'm like, hey, you doing anything? You want to come on?
Yeah.
He's like, I got some crap. He goes, but Garrett could probably do it. I'm like, cool, send them by. And we're so glad you rolled in, man. That was so fun. Thank you.
No, thank you guys too. And also too, for those of you guys that are listening, don't be shy to come down to Eastern Market. We're open for bottle sales, curbside pickup. You just want to walk through the market.
Oh, actually, I did not know that. I didn't know you guys were actually open for retail. Very, very cool.
Yep, we're open for retail. For those of you that are local, if you go to shop.detroitcitydistillery.com, just place your order. Just stop by the tasting bar. You can even pop in, say hi to Jamie, Ian, Michael might be there, and you can pick up it curbside. Just take a nice walk through.
Oh, even better. Very, very cool.
Thank you for that.
Phenomenal.
Nice.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you guys. When it's all over, I see your guys' face. I want to come in live to the studio, hang out with you guys.
Okay, so laughably, this is not a studio. This is my basement.
Well, I'll come down to your basement if you want.
Here, hold on. Let me.
Oh, they went quiet again.
They did.
Yeah, they did. But
He
when
must have triggered something.
I don't know what happened.
It's all
but when-
Dave's fault.
And well, it's all the bourbon's fault, I think. So
They said last time they went quiet, it was still they could hear themselves on the live, but I can't hear any of them right now.
no, I can't hear him either. But that's all right. Sometimes
all right.
it's better when they're quiet.
Sometimes.
Are we good?
Are we good?
Oh,
You're good.
Hey, you're back.
now I hear you.
Okay.
all right, yeah.
One
So
or two.
So yeah, the Royal Oak Studio is not too far afield from this, and downtown Detroit is inside the Detroit Shipping Company, which is a bar. In our Northville studios, we have a nice bar cart. Matt and I
We're working on it. We are working on our bar cart.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening in Northville and our studios out there, but has yet to be seen. We started it right before the shutdown happened, but we are still there. We still plan on having folks come in and say hi and speak and podcast their voice on the Podcast Detroit Network. So,
but no, I mean, honestly, my whole thing is the happiest. I've always said the happiest I ever was when I was a bartender, and so my basement has always had a really good bar in it. My whole shtick has always been I'm never going to be stumped when somebody asks me for something. I can't make that. I don't have X. The only time I've ever been stumped is when somebody asked me for a light beer.
Yes. When were you there?
I was like, well, I've got real
I
beer.
haven't been there. Dave hasn't invited me yet.
I've got real beer that I can add water to if that helps.
I haven't been invited to Dave's house yet.
There will be a throwdown in my basement and outside with the pool. You know
Now,
that.
Dave's been to my house several times, actually.
I have.
Like last week.
Invited over here. I'm just going to invite
Hey,
Garrett to your house.
if we can get an in on maybe a bottle that was held back or two, he can come over whenever the hell he wants to.
All right, you guys. We always end the man cave with a cheers. Everybody, cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies,
Thank
thank
you.
you for being here.
Cheers,
Garrett,
guys. Thank you so much.
appreciate you.
Drunken
I want some of that rum
tonight.
Love you.
I want some of
Oh yeah,
that rum.
I'm definitely keeping an eye out for that run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely follow us and everything like that. So, and always look on shop.detroitcitydistillery.com. So when that pops up, so
Yeah, I'm going to.
Actually, if you want to send us the link, we'll take that link. We'll put it up with this episode
with the show notes.
with the show notes. So we'll take care of that.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
All right, like, subscribe, and we'll do it again next time.
Everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Perfect.
Yeah.